Hi internet friends, it's Paul here again. I'm back for the second video that I promised in Lichfield. So I was on a different route with a different candidate recently, and again I want to share that with you. You would be again turning left out of the driving test centre down Lower Sandford Street, following that road all the way to the end, and I'm going to demonstrate that to you now. So follow along. So remember, always signal for any other road users so they understand what you're doing, what your intention is. Do not signal if it's going to cause a confusion, so think about what it is you're doing. I'm going to bring the car around nice and slowly around these parked vehicles. It's always very awkward coming around here, so take care. And we're going to be following the road all the way to the end. Again, just take your time, avoid the potholes, don't damage your car, and look out for pedestrians on the right hand side down here, as there's no footways. And turning right, so mirrors, signal on, first gear now, and just holding back, creeping forward really slowly, looking left and right. The pedestrian's out of the way now, so I can bring it all the way forward. And turning left at the stop junction, remember to bring the car to a complete stop. Whether it's clear or not, you have to stop. And I'm just now in a situation where I'm going to make a bit of eye contact with the traffic on the other side of the junction. I want to see if they're going to give any kind of signal to me to let me out. Thank you very much. Always look for some eye contact. You'll be surprised how many people will let you out if you do that. And always remember to thank them afterwards. So, following the road ahead towards Tamworth, look at the road markings, it says Tamworth. Check the near side mirror for anybody sneaking round on the left there. Just bringing it round. Remember, don't rush your driving test, take your time with everything. It's quite busy today. Lot of activity on the road. It looks like we're coming towards the roundabout, and we will be following the road ahead. So I can't remember this test route. I'm going to follow the sat nav. I'm checking all the mirrors. On the left hand side we've got the fast approaching V-dub there, so holding back. Second gear, left mirror check, left signal on, and then I can accelerate now that I'm happy the green one's not going to cut in front of me. Mirrors, bringing the car forward. Okay, I do remember this now. So as we come up here, we'll be getting towards some traffic lights in a minute, and we'll be turning left down Shortbutts Lane. The driving instructors that I know, we all call that Priority Street, because there's a lot of signs and road markings there that you need to observe, where you will either have priority over oncoming vehicles or you need to give priority. So it's important that you don't rush down there. It's a very narrow little lane. Don't go on the footpath. Many places have lowered curbs. Try not to go on the footpath at all with that. It looks like we're stuck in some road maintenance here. Hopefully we'll get it going in a minute. Meanwhile, put your handbrake on. You can even take it out of gear, and just keep your eye on the vehicles in front of you. I always like to look through the back window of the car in front and look at the brake lights of the car further forward, 2 cars ahead. When I see their brake lights go out, I know I need to start getting ready. So that's an observation link. Until then, you can take a rest. They're getting ready, I'm getting ready, and I'm bringing the car forward slowly now. Okay, yeah, they're bringing it forward again. So quick mirror checks, looking for Bob and Tom. Any cyclists coming up on either side, remember to give way to those as well. We're going to be turning left. I can only hope that the road is open for this. Yes, it is. That's great. So we're turning, keeping the brake covered in case I needed to stop for those pedestrians. Check that left mirror, and again, just take your time down here. We have to give way to oncoming traffic here. There's nothing to worry about at the moment though. So again, I think 20 is absolutely plenty down here. It's a 30 mile an hour speed restriction, but there's no way I'd be doing 30, no way at all. So I'm just coming down here. I've got to give way to oncoming traffic, but I can see he's turning right. Mirrors. Again, just because you see the signal is no guarantee that they're going to actually do that. The only thing a signal tells me is that it works. We cannot guarantee that someone's going to do what they say they're going to do. He could have his signal on from earlier and he can't hear that it's on because he's got his favourite tune on the radio. So just bringing it forward. It looks like we're turning left and then right at the end of the road. So it's a similar one to the last one. We were in the other road which runs parallel to this. So right door mirror check. I'm holding back now. Everything's changed when the silver one came around the corner. Because I didn't stop, technically I don't need to use a signal to get it going again. If you do have to stop, I would use a signal for the one behind or anyone coming towards you, pedestrians, etc. But since we didn't, we don't need to. We're going to be going left, so put your left signal on. I'm going to just delay mine just a while because I don't want to annoy the driver behind me. I'll put that on in a moment when I'm about to move. So we're going to go left here. So checking the mirrors in anticipation that we're moving in a moment. Okay, now the signal can go on. And because we react to movement, he's much more likely to remember that we're turning left and not go straight into the back of us as a result. We're turning right into Borrowcop Lane, so mirrors, signals going on. This is an awkward little road. Be careful with it, give it plenty of respect. It's narrow. There's gradients involved. You would be asked to pull up on the left hand side. Make sure you don't do it on these single yellow lines. Look for a safe and legal place. I suggest perhaps here or just after this little car on the left, maybe by the wheelie bins, but make sure the road as the footpath has not been lowered, so anywhere along here is just going to be fine. And then we're going to be turning left shortly into a place called Hillside, which is a bit of a nightmare, an excellent place for hill starts. So don't be surprised if they want you to do a very difficult hill start. It's awkward. I'll show you actually since I'm here. So mirror checks, slowing things down, turning left, coming up, showing the one behind nice and early while I'm doing. Brake gear overlap because he's very close behind. He's coming past now. Oh, okay, we wouldn't be asked to do the hill start here because there's all these parked cars in the way, so that's nice if that happens to you. But don't think you've been let off the hook because there's another place just around this corner. So he'll ask you to follow the road round to the right, which I'm going to do now. And he may ask you to pull over on the left now, so we can do that here. Okay, and drive on when you're ready. Remember, don't just focus on getting your clutch and your gas set correctly. You've got to remember all your observations, particularly over here, the blind spot. Everybody seems to forget it when they're trying to deal with the hill start. So let's get the hill start ready. Can't see a need to signal because that pedestrian is sweeping up the road. He's not looking at me. We're going to leave it in first gear for this, and we're going to make our right turn now. Mirrors, second gear. Go down here nice and slowly. Down here is where they like you to do a manoeuvre, so it could potentially be a parallel park, or an awkward one is to pull up on the right hand side here. I'm going to show you this. Right reverse, so pulling over on the right hand side of the road, reversing it back, keeping reasonably close to the curb. The problem now is you've got to keep it reasonably close to the curb. If you misjudge this and you don't steer to the right slightly, because I can see the road is going backwards and to the right, if you don't steer into the right, the back of the car is getting closer and closer to the centre of the road. As soon as the back of the car reaches the centre of the road, you will fail your driving test. So you've got to keep it reasonably close to the curb. So I'm just bringing it back, and I'm noticing that the road bends to the right, so I'm just covering my stalks, my indicator stalk and my window wiper stalk. I'm just covering my stalks with the steering wheel, and I'm just bringing it back nice and slowly, keeping an eye on everything. Going back slowly, no big steers on the wheel. I should be zigzagging up the road. Ask your instructor on how to do this technique. It's called covering the stalks. And just keep looking around for anybody approaching, and the examiner will say, okay, that's about right, 2 car lengths, perfect. Drive on when you're ready. So we're looking around, bringing the car forward, signal on if there's somebody there who needs to see it. We're going left at the end of the road, so mirrors, signal, slowing it down onto minus hill, into 1, and away we go. It's a nice, interesting little route this is. So we're going to be turning left shortly into Broad Lane. So again, mirrors, signal, slow down to 10, second gear, clutch back up and turn. Mirror checks. Follow the road round here. We can see the road narrows on the left there, so mirror check. We've got to give way to oncoming traffic, but there is none today. And at the end of the road, turn right, so mirror checks again, signals going on. Into first gear, looking for a reason to stop, can't see one. Always try to keep the car moving. Okay, we've got more priorities to deal with, so just keep it nice and slow. We're in Broad Lane still. 20 would be plenty along here. It's not a particularly wide road. We don't need to go like a bat out of hell, and we've got the end of the road approaching, so mirrors. Signal onto Bowley Lane. I can't see a reason to stop, so I'm carrying on. Got my eye on the dog on the right. Up to 30. road along. Don't switch off along here. There's plenty of buses that will pull over. You've got to get around those buses. Likewise, you'll probably have to pull over along here as well and then get it going. Make sure you don't pull over at a bus stop. There's one. It's more common than you realise. Again, not a good, safe place to, or legal place to pull over, so don't do that. We're coming towards the end of the road. There will be a mini roundabout there. Again, mirror check so I can see activity from the right. Going left at the mini roundabout, so the signal's going on now. Can't see a lot, but I can see enough to know I can go. And again to the roundabout, and now we are following signs to Birmingham. So it's right, third exit at the roundabout. So mirrors, signal, reducing the speed, looking to fit into the roundabout if I can. Here we go, get the gas back on, check that left mirror, don't want to bump the Audi there. And remember along here, it's still 30, Capper's Lane. It's one of those deadly roads in Lichfield, captures a lot of people. And along here, the examiner was quite cute in what he did. He asked my student to use the horn when it was safe, and because he took his mind off what he was doing for a moment, it could have easily gone wrong. So be very careful. Remember, it's 30 along here. Keep your mind on the road, it's 30, while you're dealing with opening the window or using the horn or something like that. Don't be distracted. Okay, going on to the A38. Bit uneven the road here, and then let's get it going again now. So extend the gear, let's get the car moving up to at least 50 miles per hour in third or fourth gear until we reach the acceleration lane. The signal's going on at the hatched marking, and I'm assessing the road. It looks busy. Okay, we're good to go. Just stay by the white line, it will lead you all the way on to the dual carriageway. And here, as long as I'm going at a reasonable speed, I can stay in lane 1. Because I am following the signs to Birmingham at the moment, there is no advantage to me changing lanes. I've got to stay in the left lane. So I can see the articulated lorry overtaking me now, but I'm leaving at the next exit. So I'm keeping at least a 2-second gap between myself and the one in front. So if that happens, we drop back again a little bit, making sure we are at least 2 seconds away. 2 seconds is the minimum safe gap. And then I'm just going to try to find out where we're going next. So we're coming off here. We don't need to use a signal because it just leads us straight off to the dual carriageway. I think we're going right. Pick up the signs for Lichfield, might be the instruction. So mirrors, we need the right hand lane. You'll see on the road it says Lichfield. Just there, cancel the signal and then put a new right signal on for the roundabout. Remember, signals must mean one thing, not two. So we're looking for the third exit at the roundabout, exit number 3. So remember, get counting. I'm slowing it down, but I won't be side by side with the truck, and there's other vehicles there, so I'm just holding back, and we can get it going again. So don't come belting up that road and expect to get straight onto the roundabout. You have to be ready to give way Okay, and here's the second exit, so left mirror check, left signal on, really sharp count your exits so that you're not stuck on that side of the road trying to get back. So we do have to count those exits off, signal immediately at the bollard for the second exit. Alright, and then let's get it going up. Remember, it's still national speed limit road, so if you're able to, let's get it going. And it's got slow on the road because there's a hazard ahead, so mirror. We've also got the 40 mile an hour speed restriction, so I'm off the gas already and allowing the car to slow down. Okay, we've got more brake lights in front of us and one threatening from the left mirror. And just taking it steady now. Taking it steady all the way back towards the test centre, I think. So it's more or less a straight run now. We're following the road to the left at 3/4 of a mile, so for now, if nothing is said, it's the road ahead, and nothing was said, so adopt the right hand side of the road. Clutch is going down, first gear. Got my hand on the handbrake so I don't pull away with the handbrake on. Ever so easy to forget that your handbrake's on, so if it's on you can put your left hand on the handbrake to remind you. Okay, we've got the bikers behind me. I'm going to take care now, and I'm following the road ahead. The traffic lights, those lights might change, so I'm being careful not to accelerate. Now I can gently accelerate whilst I'm observing left and right at the crossroads, keeping a wary eye on the ones behind me. They look like they're overtaking now, so we've got a few more there to deal with. I'm just going to tuck it in slightly so they can get round me, and that way there's less that can go wrong. Mirror, two more. Like they're holding back, which is okay, so I'm sandwiched in. Again, don't get too close to the bikers. If they need to go round a pothole or something, or if one of them comes off the bike, you need to be able to stop. We're going to be going left in a moment. Okay, so check door mirrors. The pack is in front of me now, and we will get to the next set of traffic lights and then turn left. 1.25 miles away from the test centre, Upper St John Street. Two of the traffic lights and left, so mirror mirror. Signal. Expecting these lights to change any moment. I'm not going to try and squeeze through that gap. I could probably do it, but there's no point. I'm just going to hold back here. Again, keeping a wary eye on that bike there. If I'd chosen to squeeze through that gap, I would have been all the more closer to the guy in the road there. There's no advantage to doing it, so I've just held back. Okay, to the roundabout, and then we're going to be going right, then all the way back to the test centre. So remember, nice easy run now, don't go screwing this up. Keep it at 30, third gear, just nice and easy. So approaching that roundabout, a signal can go on. take the second exit at the roundabout, signposted Rugeley. Sometimes they'll ask you to use the right hand lane, third exit city centre, that's easy to deal with as well. But this one is second exit. I advise you to use second gear here because it's quite a sharp little turn there, and you've got to keep the car on the left side of the road. Mirror check, signal, into the exit here, and turning right, mirror checks, turning right, looking into that road if you can get the chance to do so, or better. And yeah, sometimes they'll get you to turn left into there, but on this particular route we're going to be following the road all the way to the junction, turning left. So we're almost done now. Mirror checks. Turning left. And we'll be pulling over just to wrap this one up. And that's it again, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that. Please give it a thumbs up and a like, and I hope you're staying safe and well, and I'll see you soon for the next one. Bye for now.